As indicated by the most recent long-haul gauge, AMP cost will hit $0.03 toward the finish of 2024 and afterward $0.05 by the center of 2025. AMP will ascend to $0.07 inside the extended time of 2027, $0.1 in 2029 and $0.2 in 2034. AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.036. Today, AMP exchanged at $1.07, so the cost expanded by 193% from the outset of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.05 and the year-to-year change plus 738%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 186%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.16 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.04. In the final part, the cost would add $0.27 and close the year at $0.437, which is plus 310% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $0.437 to $0.0778, which is up 78%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.437, then, at that point, dip to $0.0376 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.445. That implies plus 280% from today. AMP expectation 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.0778 to $0.118, which is plus 30%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.0778, then, at that point, take off to $0.0828 inside the main portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $0.0837. It is about plus 685% from today. 3s are 1, 2s into 4. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.5, so the cost expanded by 36% from the outset of the year. The determined AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.0143 and the year-to-year change plus 293%. The ascent from today to year-end, plus 188%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.101 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0192. In the final part, the cost would add $0.013 and close the year at $0.05, which is plus 313% to the ongoing cost. AMP expectation 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring an increment. AMP cost would move from $0.05 to $0.366, which is up 79%. AMP will begin 2026 at $2.5, then dip to $1.77 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $1. That implies plus 283% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.366 to $0.473, which is plus 29%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.366, then, at that point, take off to $389 inside the primary portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $393. It is about plus 692% from today. 2152s into 4. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.936. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.38, so the cost expanded by 4% from the start of the year. The estimated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.128 and the year-to-year change plus 252%. The ascent from today to year-end plus 240%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.081 per 1 AMP. In the primary portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.0134. In the final part, the cost would lose $0.03 and close the year at $0.0131, which is plus 248% to the ongoing cost. AMP expectation 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a huge increment. AMP cost would move from $0.0131 to $0.29, which is up 121%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.0131, then take off to $0.0145 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.0159. That implies plus 322% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $0.9 to $0.448, which is plus 55%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.9, then take off to $0.311 inside the primary portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $333. It is about plus 783% from today. So 2001-2004. AMP value expectation 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.34, so the cost diminished by 6% from the very outset of the year. The estimated AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.113 and the year-to-year change plus 210%. The ascent from today to year-end plus 230%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.072 per 1 AMP. In the main portion of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.118. In the last part, the cost would lose $0.3 and close the year at $0.115, which is plus 236% to the ongoing cost. AMP forecast 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $1.115 to $2.55, which is up 122%. AMP will begin 2026 at $1.115, then take off to $1.27 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $1.39. That implies plus 306% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from $2.55 to $398, which is plus 56%. AMP will begin 2031 at $0.55, then, at that point, take off to $2.75 inside the primary portion of the year, and finish 2031 at $2.95. It is about plus 763% from today. 01152024. AMP value forecast 2024-2025. AMP cost began in 2024 at $0.36. Today, AMP exchanged at $0.34, so the cost diminished by 7% from the start of the year. The Guaj AMP cost toward the finish of 2024 is $0.75 and the year-to-year change plus 106%. The ascent from today to year-end plus 122%. In 2024, we hope to see $0.95 per 1 AMP. In the principal half of 2025, the AMP cost will move to $0.9. In the final part, the cost would lose $0.011 and close the year at $0.69, which is plus 104% to the ongoing cost. AMP expectation 2026-2030. These 5 years would bring a critical increment. AMP cost would move from $0.69 to $0.171, which is up 148%. AMP will begin 2026 at $0.69, then take off to $0.74 inside the initial half year of the year and finish 2026 at $0.77. That implies plus 128% from today. AMP forecast 2031-2035. In this period, the AMP cost would ascend from